Well, welcome back, everyone, to a new game. We're going to demo another game. This one is called Let Them Trade. And yes, in case you're wondering, the reason I was drawn to this game was because it looks like Catan. But it's a little different than Catan, obviously. But it has some similar elements to Catan. Greetings, welcome to the trade. I am the king, monarch, sovereign, clever little follower of my soldiers, is the most trusted advisor, Mr. Nuts. This guy right here, on his shoulder. Squeak, squeak, said Mr. Nuts. Big plans to grow the economy in my domain, but I can't oversee everything personally. Feast and balls are so time intensive that I hardly find time to do much else. That's why I'm looking for someone as hardworking as I am, and you look like the right person. Let's learn how to play. Okay. Top right hand of the screen, you'll see current main quest, side objective, milestones. You'll be rewarded handsomely for completing the task I set for you. Side quests and milestones are optional, but main quest to complete to finish the scenario, so do pay attention. First, let's learn how to move the camera. Extra mission, click the buttons. Pan forward, up, down, left, and right, in and out, blah, 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 blah. Pretty cool, huh? Now we're gonna rotate left, rotate right, hold the middle button to do that. Zoom in, zoom out. Pretty simple. R and P to reset your position. Oh, I'm sorry, rotate position and reset your other position. Cities are founded by first placing city center. Select city center in the basics build menu and place it on a highlighted tile. We're going to make sure that you only place it on the highlighted tile. Look at bent. Can't place it anywhere else but right here. Now we have to wait for it to finish. Let's press the speed up button. Or not. While we're doing this, handy landy little factoid, you cannot place your stuff next to a castle keep. The castle keep has to remain empty. Spaces around the castle keep have to remain empty. Now that you've founded a city, you can place production. Residential buildings, neighboring tiles. Start placing 2 potato farms on the green soil and 2 peasant homes. You may hold down the left shift to place multiple buildings. Now we gotta place some potato farms. We gotta place some residentials. I'm sure they're affected by their placement too. So if I place, say, this and say another potato farm, they may get bonuses. Or you may have to walk farther because whatever. I don't know. Hard to say. Now that we've placed both places, gotta wait for them to be made. I'm gonna speed that up a little bit. Congratulations. Doodloop, doodloop. Also, I think the king and his chipmunk squirrel companion. You see the little guys with the carts transporting the resources and building the sites then? They are the city transporters. All resources must be transported from where they're being produced to where they're consumed. The transporters are responsible for doing so inside the city. When you're about to place a building, you will see arrows indicating distance, which you'll need to travel by transporter. There's a limited number of transporters, which means the bigger the city gets, the farther transporters will need to travel. More difficult it will be for them to keep up. You may have noticed that there are some gray unexplored tiles. Northeast Castle on top of the left, you'll see UI with your knights are listed. Click Scout icon to select them scouting the flag, and then select a tile. Unexplored tiles will automatically be revealed to them after so long. Mechanic we're not going to talk about is the fact that these knights consume food. So your castle keep has to have food in order for your knights to go. Then after the knights have expended all of their food and or searchy resourcey shortish, they will return to the castle and have to do that again. It takes a second, though. You need to be patient. Not get pissed off, Chris. See how it says supplies? The farther away from the castle he gets, the more supplies he uses. Once he uses up all his supplies, he stops scouting. Gotta be patient, my brother. Gotta be patient. See, it takes time. See how it says 8? He's about to move there. See? Sell your bum. But every time you click, he has to restart. And just like that, he's discovered 2 tiles. Hooray! Great, you found forest tiles. Now let's find a new city next to the forest tile. I'll give you a hand. More bullshit. I want him to continue to search. When he finishes searching, I'm gonna place city right here. By right here, I mean right next to, I guess right next to the... Oh, there's more wood. Never mind. I was gonna say. Place right here. That'll work. Most resources building need to be placed next to a specific tile to work. The lumberjacks must be placed on forest tiles. Produce wood. Like all production buildings, the lumberjacks require inhabitants to work there. So we have to create homes for people. And once we create homes, we can create business. And once we create business and homes, we can create trade. And that's great. This is important when you make a kingdom where each city specializes in one particular thing. In this case, this city specializes in wood. And they trade wood to get potatoes. And the potato people trade their potatoes to get wood. And that's how economy works. Until too many cities depend on certain things. Inhabitants will need and want flex the resources they consume. If the inhabitants' needs are met, they'll remain in the city. If not, they'll become unhappy and move out. It may take a while for a new inhabitant to move in again, meaning you'll have a smaller workforce available in the meantime. So keep them happy. Resources broken up into 2 basic groups. Basic luxury. Basic resources are important. They are missing the inhabitants will be very unhappy. Both basic resources are providing the inhabitants will no longer move out, and will fill slots of residential buildings, meaning the city has a full workforce available. Luxury resources provide extra happiness. They're not enough if basics are missing. Besides, they're sure the inhabitants will move out. Happiness are also important. Inhabitants provide money to the city. Depending on happiness, the happier the population, the more money the city will trade and produce. Now that you have 2 cities, we'll begin trade with one another. Our trades will not move very quickly on normal tiles. You speed them up and make the economy more efficient by connecting the castle and all the cities with roads. This is a very Catan feeling. We got wood. Instead of wheat, we've got potatoes, at least in this case. We're going to create roads, which in this case don't require brick. But kind of require you to spend your money. And I'm sure there's some sort of potato. What I should do is I should just connect my I was gonna say what I should do is connect the road to my town, have the town connect to the Castle Keep, and the Castle Keep to Colford, but I didn't do that right. That's okay. Would have saved me, I believe, 1 tile of road. But I do still need to connect them, and connecting them actually means I actually physically have to put the road into the city. And luckily you're still able to build on tiles that have roads on them. And the roads are built instantaneously, as you can see. So what we need to do, like the game said, is I need to connect these two. So it's going to show me that I should be holding from here to here. And just like that, it'd be good. That connects that. And this connects this. And I just need to connect the castle keep. Each city has its own budget, which it will spend on resources from other cities. Also sell resources which it overproduces. Therefore, price of resources and economy are determined by the supply and demand. Manage the production flow of resources in the economy, and therefore indirect manage the prices, is vital for success. Because on every trade levy you tax 25% on both cities, is a primary source of your income. Try to build an economy where cities are specialized and import most resources from one another. Beware of monopolies as they drive up prices and make the economy insufficient. You can see the market price on the resources global resource overview in the top left of your screen. If you click on the resource, the global overview will switch to focus mode. A lot more information will be available, including global production, consumption for that resources, as well as displaying which cities are trading what. Our little economy here, first city will produce potatoes and buy wood, and the second city will produce wood and buy potatoes. Isn't this nifty? You can also connect to the castle keep, but a little extra money, I suppose. Not sure if that makes it all that more efficient, to be honest. Yep, we're just moseying along here. We need to trade 4 more potatoes, which should happen immediately here. And now I can upgrade my city. As mentioned before, the transporters move resources inside a city, while traders move resources between cities. It has a limited amount of either of these, meaning that if you get overloaded a lot, must be moved at once. Cities can be upgraded, increasing the number of traders and transporters they have. The upgrades can be applied at any time, provided you have the resources. Now let's try. In fact, let's upgrade both cities, if we can. I need wood and planks. I don't have planks, I don't think. Or wait, no, I do, because I've got stuff that I can produce planks. You also need wood and planks, so we're going to produce wood and planks. And then I believe wood place is going to get upgraded first because they have wood. And this place will get upgraded second because they'll need wood, and then they'll need planks. So, yep, wood here, planks there, that's upgraded. This one will upgrade second. And now we're going to look into our upgrade tree, which will allow us to also upgrade different things like peasant homes. I have to buy a sawmill here to create boards. That's great. So I gotta unlock sawmills, and then from there there's a fishery, a sheep farm, all the fun jazz. So basically you want to create cities where this one produces potatoes, this one produces wood, this one, say, maybe also produces, I don't know, sheep. So that the wood and the planks balance out the sheep and the potatoes. I don't know. And then, as you saw, there's other things like fishing, which I don't currently have access to because there's no fishing spots on here. Very good work. You have finished the first part of the tutorial. Part 2, you learn about researching more advanced buildings as well as upgrades. We were kind of doing that already. Next map. Greetings, my dear subject. After such a good showing, I've decided that you have promised to teach you another thing or two. They'll be learning about research, upgrades, and modifications. Before we start, however, we need to solve a little problem. I've been siphoning off a few coins from the infrastructure budget here and there to pay for my birthday party preparations. In times of Augustine, a strong leader must make tough decisions and set priorities, and you understand. Sadly, This has led to some minor consequences, such as the complete and utter dilapidation of the kingdom's bridges. Lovely. I think the first thing we're going to do is build a bridge. You see how there are roads, and they're leading to the shore. The bridge connects them in claps, blah blah blah, whatever. We're just going to go like this. And it's going to create a bridge. It's going to be expensive, but it's important. Good, now the cities will trade again. While wood and potatoes are nice, you still want to produce some other resources. For example, planks, resources made from wood and sawmills, are required to build most buildings. However, before you build a sawmill, you must first research in the research tree. Crazy! Research is done in your castle normally. Ta-da! Open the research tree in the top left corner of the screen. Click on sawmills to begin research. Castle will send traders to purchase the required resources and transport them. Now I'm wondering if perhaps you created another city that takes in the wood to turn into planks. Or if that's too redundant. Peasants are unhappy and might be leaving the city. The happiness is in our city rising. What? Yeah, I imagine it all like happiness instead of probably starting out at like a 50%. It probably starts out at 0 and you gotta build it up. It's kind of nice and kind of annoying in the same breath. Nice because the city doesn't start... Excuse me, a little town, a village, whatever you want to call it, doesn't generally start from, you know, happiness, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I want to say that generally unhappy people move away and they start their own village, but then you need the basic resources. So if you don't have basic resources like food and wood and other things, you're unlikely to succeed. And then obviously building on rivers helps to increase trade, which increases wealth, as well as being on a port. City helps you to also trade because you put shit on boats and you get traveling through woods and dealing with, you know, we're talking back in the day here, we're not talking today terms. You know, you can get robbed by highway bandits or whatever. So we need to research the sawmill, which we're doing right now. So it'll only take a little bit more time before that's finished. Game's probably going to be like, hey, put down what you would, save yourself some time, but increase the quality of those goods because the wood's being used not only by the neighbors, but also by you. Cool. Ooh. Blah, 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 blah. Sawmill's unlocked. Great news, the sawmill appears in the building menu. Place it down in one of your cities. Ideally the one that's producing wood. Besides researching new buildings possible to research new upgrades, once unlocked, these will allow you to select production or residential building and upgrade to a level, improving functionality and providing other benefits depending on that level. Right on the lumberjacks in the research tree and select level 2 icon above the lumberjacks to begin research. Probably make some more efficient, I imagine. I'm not that I'm gonna try not to talk too much about other games since we're specifically dealing with a demo here. But I mentioned in an episode of Super Mario 2 Advanced that I was playing a little bit of Diplomacy's Not an Option. And one of the things that really gets me about some of these games is you have to figure how to balance around things. Because if you do not make it worth the time to upgrade buildings, you're not going to do it. You're just going to stick with your base level buildings. And Diplomacy Not an Option has that very problem where you need a lot of wood because that's sort of the baseline of your economy. Everything requires wood in some way, shape, or form. And then as you upgrade, you need stone, and then from stone you need iron. And that's sort of your pyramid, where it takes the most time to get iron, and there's the least amount of it, where it takes you less time to produce wood, but you need it for everything. So again, the upper level versions of, say, the Lumber Mill 2, Lumber Mill 3 in that game end up generally not worth your time. Upgrading lumberjacks to level 2 increase the output a good amount. Apply upgrade, select the lumberjacks, and click on the up button, upper left of the UI. And the reason I say that is because as you upgrade, it eats into your other resources. So wood is sort of a complicated one, because you want, by upgrading your wood thing, you get an extra person, which means they cut down more trees in addition to the other workers that are already there. But it takes wood away from your stockpile as well as stone, and sometimes it's just better just to build another wood mill and subtract 2 more. You would get a second person, 2 more people instead of 1, and then you don't spend the wood and you don't spend the stone to upgrade it. You know what I'm saying? That's sort of what I'm trying to get at, is whenever you're saying which is more efficient, for me to produce 2 of these or upgrade this one. Additionally, allow you to level up your buildings. Research upgrades can also unlock modifications. Modifications are different to upgrades and can be turned on and off at any time at no additional cost. Modifications are unique to every building and coming in different types. Some provide bonuses depending on their neighboring tiles. Some change the building's inputs and outputs, and others change how many and what type of inhabitants may work and live there. Both production and residential buildings have modifications. Let's see how the forestry modification of lumberjacks to unlock when you're in Starch 2. Select lumberjacks and click on the forest modification tab to activate it. Good. At the very least, you're not. Last but not least, look at the buy resource castle. You may have noticed auto buy in your castle sends out traders to automatically purchase resources for the research center and the castle buildings. So you gotta watch out for that, because the castle keep is pulling from your resource pool. Resource tab, UI, target storage. Each of these resources are in the economy. Toggle auto buy. Depending on the amount you set, the castle will automatically buy or sell the selected source. It may take a while. The castle will negotiate a fair price with cities, which takes time. If you want to speed up the process, don't do that. You can also access direct buy resource tab in the UI castle. Select list of cities and their offers. It will be displayed on a particular trade. Purchase. Let's direct buy some purchase wood from your castle. These are going to be important when I do the next tutorial mission, which is going to be basically, hey, we want you to do ABC. Well, you're going to have to do ABC to complete the tutorial, but managing your resources is going to be something that may cause you an issue if you're not actually figuring out what you need to do. Hooray! So as I was mentioning, in diplomacy is not enough, but also any game that's like this, you have to consider when you're upgrading things, whether that be homes, towns, whatever, does it make sense for you to upgrade that town to produce extra people, or does it make more sense for you just to build another house? Now, obviously there's a limited amount of space either in this game as well as the other one I was mentioning, but sometimes that's where the balance comes in. If I build 5 houses, and each of those 5 houses produces, say, 2 people, that's 10 people, okay? If I upgrade that house to level 2 and each of the houses gets +1, you know what I mean? Which makes more economic sense? Building another house or upgrading the house? If the economy makes sense, you know, you're not only saving space for other shit, which is important, but also at any given time you can upgrade. Congratulations, finished tutorial. Second tutorial, I think a perfect little task. You, something that's small. Tutorial completed. We're gonna do the next one. It's a lot more complicated. Welcome back, my dear subject. Welcome to your first real job, i.e. this is gonna be the last mission in the tutorial. It's a lovely place. Trees, mountains, scent of salt air. Ocean must be nearby. You know what to do to make the place even more livable if we're economically productive. Today's goal is to build up a base economy with all the resources present class needs: potato, wood, fish, and wool. We're build a research center provisioner, so you can figure that shit out. Cities are gonna have to start out from scratch. You know how it goes. Start with 2 cities. One produces potatoes, one produces wood. You can see we got a couple different areas for both potatoes and wood, but you can see the castle keep is redded out. You do not want to build stuff in that redded out area, otherwise you're gonna have bad time. So what we probably should do is we should build wood here. I'm trying to figure this out. There's plenty of wood to the north, and there's plenty of wood here where my cursor is. But there's not a lot of plains. Now, there is a lot of plains, as you can see. There's plains all around the castle. There's plains all around this mountain. There's plains all around this tree. But really what I need to do is I need to go across the river here, this little stream, river, whatever you want to call it, and start producing grass there. Because if the castle was a little farther back, I could definitely produce just diagonal right of the castle. I could set up a little farm here, but I want to be able to access all, what is this, 6 tiles around the center one. And no, I do not want to go all the way around like that. I just want to go across the stream, because it probably costs less money to do that. Let's do that. Now this, we want to go across here, not across this single space, because if I go 2 across to Kingsmoor, it's going to cost me 600. Whereas going across here, all the way across, Chris, only cost me 300, you see? And then from here to here probably is not going to cost me 600 more. So that'll give me the castle. That's good. Let me see. Okay. So no, it did not cost me 300 more. It cost me 160, which is a little more than half what it would cost to do an additional bridge. Plus, I would have had another road to build between Kingsmoor and that double bridge. Alright, so a little farther away than I'd kind of like them to be between my base wood and base potato farms. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna build some houses. We're gonna build some lumber stuff here, lumber it up, and yeah, we'll have 2 lumber, two potatoes, and then eventually we'll have to produce some wool, fish. 2 cities built, 2 potato farms built, yeah, 2 lumberjacks built. That's base level. You say it's a side quest, but it's like sort of the base of what the game has at least taught me that I need to do. Is I need to produce two houses per village, and you know, 2 working areas per village. So 2 wood, 2 potatoes, you know, that sort of shit. And then after that, we can use the castle to take a look for some fish, because I currently can't see fish. And then maybe between Kingsmoor and Oakshade, diagonal towards the bottom, we should probably create another town. I do need to upgrade the sawmill as well, because I'll need that for upgraded bullshit. Fishery also comes out of sawmill, as well as sheep farm, so I'm gonna have to obviously sawmill now. I don't know what tavern does, but clearly if I want to get to the other 2 goals in this game, this mission, which is sheep